Hi, I'm Myah Hazelton. I go to Virginia Tech. Currently, I'm a freshman here for women's basketball. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and in my hometown, I would say go to the mall. We have a lot of different shopping centers, so that was something I would enjoy doing back home.
How did your decision come about to go to Virginia Tech, and what kind of prompted you to enter the transfer portal?
So my decision to go to Virginia Tech, it was actually my first visit and my only visit that I took. The day I visited here, I was supposed to be visiting Virginia, but they something came up and the visit got canceled. So I decided I'll hit Virginia Tech first. And I got to campus and I loved it as soon as I stepped on campus, and I loved the coaching staff. Coach Brooks, he was like a really big family guy, having his daughters here part of the team. I think that really stood out to me, and that was something I was looking for. Beautiful campus. They're really good for my major. I'm majoring in sports media and analytics, so the ACC network's really big here. So that kind of pushed me to commit. I committed that day. But then, the coaching change happened and everything, and I still wanted to stick it out because, again, the fans loved me. I got so much love every time I was here on campus. So I figured, something goes wrong, I don't like it my first year, then I can leave, which I am. The decision to go into the portal, it really wasn't fully my decision. There was kind of some things, what happens with players, people that are coming in, people that are leaving. They make decisions based on that, who needs to leave, who needs to stay, who needs to go. So I'm one that needs to go, and just I think I decided with my family would be a better opportunity for me anyways, playing wise and just happiness and overall mental well-being after some things that have happened this year. So I think I'm very excited to see what's next. And yeah, that's really what made me put my name into the portal.
What do you do outside of school?
So outside of school, I'm a really good painter. I love art. A lot of the things up in my room I've painted. So I'll start doing more of that on my Instagram. I want to start an art page. I'm into photography. I have a few cameras. I like doing that. I'm into modeling. I'm like the NIL stuff that comes in. I'm really into like just anything picture wise, makeup, hair, like fashion. I'm into all that. So yeah, those are a few of my hobbies.
Were there any other sports that you played growing up that kind of led towards your decision of basketball?
So my first when I was really little, I think most girls did this: gymnastics, dance, all that. I'm very uncoordinated for that. I just wasn't hanging with it. So I stopped that, and then I did soccer for a couple years. When I was little, didn't like that either. So my mom grew up playing basketball. She played in college. She played at Shepherd in West Virginia. So she was always pushing me to play basketball. She's like, come on, play basketball, play basketball. She's obviously going to want me to do that. So I finally picked up basketball at like 6 or 7. And since then, I loved it. I was always, of course, tallest, like in my grade out of all the kids. So I always like dominated from a really young age. So I stuck with that, and then I started playing more competitive around, I would say, ninth grade, freshman year. I joined the EYBL circuit for AAU. And that was when I started getting noticed and more offers and stuff. So I really just ran with basketball, and that's been the only thing I ever played since.
Yeah, and going back to art, I think it's like pretty cool how you have this whole hobby and you can express your ideas on paper or online. What really got you into art in the beginning?
So I started just drawing, like just for fun when I was younger, like probably like 10, 11, just for fun. I've been a perfectionist always. So like if I mess up, I'm getting mad. I'm very detail oriented. My mom's like that kind of like OCD thing, which I think a lot of artists have. And two, I carry that over the court with me trying to be perfect. But I realized I was pretty good at drawing. My grandma, she's really good at drawing. So I think I got that from her. And then having that little OCD perfectionist piece from my mom, I think that together, I think has made me really good. So then I started painting and just trying different things, different medias. I've done clay before, oil painting, all that type of stuff. I like markers, watercolor, all that. So, and I've realized I'm really good at it. So I do it for fun. I always I look on Pinterest. I get inspiration from other artists. I go outside and paint what I see, anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty much how I started with that.
Did you ever take any like art classes in school as like electives or anything?
Yeah, I did in high school. So I went to private school my junior year just to like try something new competition wise for basketball. And they had a really advanced art class, which I finally was around other people that were super good, actually better than me. I was like, wow. So I got to learn a lot from that class, and I really liked it. My senior year, I took an art class, and then right now I'm actually taking an art class, and I really like that class. It's more like digital art, so I think that's really cool to try because I've never done that before.
That's pretty cool. Going back to NIL, what NIL opportunities have you been able to do so far?
So far here, it was pretty exciting. My first one I got was Home Field Apparel. I don't know if you know what that is. They have like all the vintage college like sportswear brands, things like that. So I got to do a photo shoot for that, and we went to Charlotte this year for Ally Tip-Off, which was really cool. They only picked a few athletes from each team in the games, so I got to do that. And I got to keep the merchandise, get a little bit of money on the side. So I think that was fun. I did an Athleta brand. They sent me some gear. I've done a skincare brand, and I did C4 Energy recently. That was what I did for the bracket for everything happening for March Madness. So I got to do a photo shoot for that.
And looking forward, are there any like NIL deals or opportunities or brands that you really want to work with in the future?
Yeah, so I would love to work with Dunkin'. That's like my favorite one I'm going for. Wherever I land next, I'll probably try and reach out and do something with them, especially if there's a Dunkin' on campus. Maybe I could, I don't know, do a campus brand or something. So them, I think I'm into a lot of skincare and makeup, so maybe leaning towards some makeup brands that I use a lot. I think I like the Ordinary skincare brand, things like that. So yeah, I think I'm going to lean into more makeup and skincare, maybe some hair stuff. So
For Dunkin', are you thinking of doing like a coffee or something with your name in it?
So it's funny for wanting Dunkin'. I'm not a coffee person. I don't drink coffee. I hate coffee actually. I'm more of a refresher. Just went. I'm more of a refresher person. So I think I would do that with my name. That would be.
And then also talking about NIL, I know you did Battle of the Shades. How was that?
That was really cool. That was fun. Me and Lonnie did that. We were battling Virginia, of course, for Commonwealth Clash, whatever it's called, tongue twister. Yeah, I think that was cool. Just trying something different. I never heard of the brand, but we got a bunch of free sunglasses, so I got to give that to my family and friends. So that was fun. And yeah, it was just something different and something to get my feet wet to, and like doing like the photos and the videos, things like that. I think that was really fun. I enjoyed it.
I know you briefly mentioned the EYBL. I know you guys won a championship and went undefeated that season. Do you want to kind of explain that or just go over it?
Yeah, that was a historical season for EYBL, period. We were the first Triple Crown. We won all 3 EYBL championships out of boys EYBL and girls EYBL ever. So that was really fun. I played with some really great girls. We're all at our each division schools, different schools. My coach Talon, she's one of a kind. She's awesome. I still talk to her to this day. She's like a big sister to us. But yeah, that run, it was really fun, undefeated. It was my sophomore year of high school. So I was just really now, I think looking back, that was when I was just starting to get offers and stuff. And all of us we were all going through the recruiting process. So it was a really chaotic time, but that season was awesome. We had a lot of big memories together. We went through a lot, cried a lot, laughed a lot. It was super fun. So yeah, I do miss AAU. That was a really big part of my life and like a really big turning point for basketball. So yeah, I think that was probably one of my favorite teams I was ever a part of because I love the girls.
Have you played against any of them in college?
I have. So Hannah Hidalgo, she was on the Sour 17U squad, so we played against her, of course. I wasn't on the team with her specifically, but she was on our older squad. Zoe Brooks on NC State. Zoe, I'm cool with Zoe. She's hilarious. Talaya, she was at Penn State. We didn't get to play them this year, but I have my best friend Ava. She's on Maryland. Didn't get to play them because they're not in our conference, but maybe in the future we'll see them. I don't know. I'll come across them, but we all still talk, and it's super cool to see everyone going their own path.
I'm kind of looking forward to this season or this upcoming season, I guess. Do you have any short or long-term goals for your personal game or your team game?
I think every team I'm on, I like to make everyone around me better, whether that's be a better person, if I can help you play-wise, let's do a workout together. Let's go out for drinks together. I don't know. Let's go hang out and go get lunch together. If that makes you better some way, then I'm willing to do that. I think I bring a lot of energy to any team I'm on. If you didn't see any bench pictures this year, I go crazy. I always celebrate my teammates. I love doing that. That's just who I am. So yeah, I think that's long-term goals. Again, just making people better. Game-wise, I do want to get better on the court, of course. So I think anywhere I go, I'm just willing to put in the work, put in the extra time, use people around me to motivate me and get better in that way.
Why do you wear number 21?
So my mom, she wore 21. And when I first started playing, that was just the number she gave me. At first I was like, oh, why? She's like, I wore 21, so just naturally gave me 21. And I stuck with that ever since. It's my lucky number. So I've never changed it, and it's a, superstition type thing.
Did you guys both play the same position?
Yeah. Yep. She's tall too.
Was your mom able to help you in any aspects of the game kind of growing up or just kind of help with the process of like kind of moving through different levels of basketball?
Yeah, so she was my coach like as long as I can remember, except for AAU. So she got me into basketball, of course, when I was younger. So she kind of mentored me that way. High school came around. The high school I graduated from, I left there for a little bit for my junior year. But she was the head coach there for me for my freshman year, sophomore year, then senior year. Um, our my first AAU team I was a part of before I got into like more competitive like EYBL. She coached that along with like my best friend. She's committed to Wake Forest, Milan Brown. Her dad and my mom were our coaches for that team, so we were kind of like the dynamic duo. That was our first AAU team either one of us had played on. And then yeah, I think my senior year she really guided me and like. I think when I first started getting into competitive basketball, she like really pushed me and like, cause at first I was like, oh, I'm good, blah blah blah. I don't need to like join another team. But she's like, the girls you're playing with, it's not gonna make you better. It's not gonna. You have to push yourself, excel. So she got me into the EYBO and is like, I need to let you out from under my wing. You need to go play for somebody else. So I played for Talon, and I think stepping away from my mom as a coach. I think bettered our relationship because if your mom's your coach, you're going home with her and you have to hear nothing but basketball, basketball all the time. So I think that was way better for our relationship, basketball wise and off the court.
Would you say that faith has played a big role in your athletic career?
Yeah, definitely. I've always believed in God and I've always been like a person of faith. My parents like they always like taught me that growing up. My mom, she grew up in church. I grew up in church. But I really didn't start like taking it serious until I would say after my sophomore year, going into my junior year a few years ago. Because I had gotten into some trouble. Like I was like struggling mentally, I think, in different aspects of my life. Those couple years of high school, like during COVID, because I think COVID being away from people kind of pushed me away from that, and I kind of like isolated myself. But then our family went through some things, and we had a breakthrough. My mom was like we need to take this more serious. We got started getting back into church. I started praying more, and God, He answered so many things in my life, and I realized like how big of a part He is in my success and basketball wise, and how much He's gonna push me. So now I try to spread the word. I try to like let other people know He's there for you, He loves you, and if you put God first, then everything else falls into place. So that's really like He's a big part of my life, and I really base my career off of faith, and everything I do is based off of Him.
Is faith something you kind of use to bond with your teammates in a way, or is there other aspects that you use, maybe like music or quotes or anything that you kind of keep just central throughout the teammates?
So my teammates, this current team, no, it wasn't really a big thing because again, just like controversial issues, like it's like different rules different schools have, things like that, just things that don't happen on certain teams. But certain teammates, yes, we bonded through that. We bonded through church. I went to church with a few of my teammates here, and we enjoyed it. The church here is great. I've made different friends here through different groups, different like Bible study groups, things like that. I do some online stuff that's brought me to some different people. So bonding that way. Quote wise, I am big on quotes. I like to, like my locker, I have a lot of quotes written down, sticky notes. I'm like that type of person. I journal. So I think that has brought me closer to people, and I like sharing that on my Instagram. I like reaching out that way, different Bible quotes, things like that, Bible verses. I share with people on Instagram. I send them one to a friend every day. My mom sends me them every day. So my pastor, he still sends me them every day. So I think that aspect I bond with people.
What would you say is like your number one quote that you use?
I say, God is within her, she will not fail. I have that tatted on me. I put that everywhere. I always write that everywhere. That's my favorite one. And it just means a lot, and it sits with me a lot. My mom always tells me, God's with you. There's nothing that's impossible. You can accomplish anything that you want if you have Him in the middle.
Kind of going back to NIL in general, do you notice like kind of a shift of like NIL being introduced and kind of how it's impacting the game in any way?
Yeah, I think it's like a really big impact. Kind of negatively, I think. Like I'm all for the brands and stuff. Like again, I love taking photos. I love doing all that cute stuff for Instagram. I think it's super fun. But I think it does get to a point where it becomes evil. Like it's negative. I think it's changing the game negatively. Especially if you look at other sports, like football is huge in it. My boyfriend, he plays football here, and it's ruining the game, the fun for them. So because people are just leaving schools and going to schools based on how much money they're getting, and I feel like it's taking away love for the game and like the pride that people used to have for playing for a college, playing for your school. So yeah, I think there's pros and cons. It does bring a lot of like attention to your name, which could help like career wise. Like I mean, I'm trying to like build up my Instagram still. I've built up followers again, but it's just all about the message you want to spread. You can use that fame and that attention to your name for positivity, or you can use it to spread negativity. And not so good things into the world. So I think it's just based on how you want to use it, and if you're choosing to use it good, then that's great. That's where it's good for those type of people. But when people start, being negative and, being nasty, and people are, leaving schools, I'm not getting this much money, I'm going here because I'm getting $1 million, I think that's where it starts to get negative. I think that's where it should be more controlled.
Yeah, that's really interesting because a lot of the athletes that we have talked to see it as like a positive part of what they're doing. And just hearing your side, it's very interesting to us. But I want to know, what does NIL mean to you?
So to me, it means opportunity. Again, I want to use that opportunity. I see it as an opportunity. A brand reaches out to me. I get to take pictures. That's an opportunity for me to spread a message, especially if you have a large platform. Like, again, I'm trying to hit like a certain milestone for my Instagram, things like that. I set goals for myself. But again, like, so it's different from other people where like they might not have positive goals. Some people use that stuff to spread hate and all that, which I try to stay away from, and I try to like distance myself and my family from it. But yeah, to me, it's just opportunity. That's what it means to me. Opportunity to make your name known, to help the impression, kind of like what you're gonna make on people. Like when people see your name and see your Instagram, they go to your page, it's a first impression. It's, what do they think of you? Is this girl positive? Is she negative? Does she spread good, bad? Like that's how I look at it. Because certain people, it's like, okay, they have all this money, I see all this NIL brand, but again, what is your message? What is your overall goal in life? And what are you trying to tell other people with your brand, with your name? So yeah.
Do you have any aspirations to play professionally in any capacity?
I mean, at the moment, no, I didn't. Like, I don't want to play in the W. I'm not interested in it just for like personal reasons. I just like don't want to put my time into that because I think I could do better things with the time and be more productive. If the opportunity came to play maybe overseas, I would. I might be interested depending on where it is. Because I love to travel. I want to travel. I want to see the world, see beautiful places, have fun doing it. But I mean, yeah, right now I would say no. But if the opportunity came, I would evaluate it when the time came.
Where have you traveled so far?
So really not that many places. I went to Bahamas when I was younger, Aruba, been to Canada. Yeah, that's pretty much it. In the States, Florida. But I'm trying to go more exotic places. So yeah, I'm very excited again after school to take that opportunity. So yeah.
Do you and your team like have a song that gets you hyped before a game?
There's a lot of songs that were played this year. I think I would say anything by Glorilla we were big fans of. Any rap, anything like that. I don't really listen to music before I get ready for a game. I just kind of sit in silence and in my head and I pray and all that. I don't really like listen to music. If I do, it's more like chill, like R&B type, not like hype, like loud. I'm more like Drake, Party Next Door. Like I'll listen to like that before. A lot of people like disagree. They're like, "Oh my gosh, that put me to sleep," but that's my personal preference. But for the team this year, anything Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion, all that, we would all listen to.
What's your focus of study in school and kind of what led you down that path?
So I'm majoring in sports media and analytics. I want to work for ESPN. I want to be a broadcaster. I look up to people like Andrea Carter, Autumn Johnson, Kelsey Riggs, all those people. I just think, again, I think what led me down that path was I'm a people person. I've always like been a chatter. I've always been like a very outgoing. I'm a very high energy person, and I'm passionate about like everything I do. I put a lot of time and effort into something that I do. I think I just thought it would be a good fit, and I think being an athlete, a student athlete, I think that leads you down a good path for that career, because you look at the broadcasters, most of them play basketball. So I think that being a basketball player puts me in a good position to get a good job. And yeah, it's just really fun. I think it would be fun traveling, going to all the different games, talking about the sport I play. So yeah.
Yeah, and talking about like, role models and stuff, if you could have dinner with any athlete or public figure, who would it be and why?
I would say probably Michael Jordan, because he's the GOAT. People argue with me and say LeBron. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. I've always thought that. So yeah, he's super cool, super influential to the game. Made a big change in the game. So yeah, Michael Jordan.
Do you have any preferred brand of shoes or any other training gear that you use exclusively?
Really, I'm a Nike girl. I love Nike. I've always liked Nike. I don't know. I just loved every team I've been on so far was like a Nike's team. So I love Air Maxes. I love Jordans. So that's kind of always led me to Nike. My mom, she's always worn everything Nike. My parents, my dad, that's kind of like their swag, their style. I will wear Adidas. I do like Adidas. I know a lot of people checks over stripes, but I like both. More so Nike, but I would do Adidas.
So how can fans and supporters stay connected with you and your journey?
They can follow my socials, definitely. I will follow back. I can reach out to me anytime. I always look at my messages and respond. I'm not on Twitter much, so I don't think you'll catch me there. That's more like business, basketball wise, just posting, but Instagram definitely.
And then is there anything else that you'd like to share about NIL or your experiences as a student athlete?
I would say just take advantage of the opportunities. If you do get an opportunity, take it. If you think it's positive, of course, like if it's a good opportunity. Because again, if you're trying to spread a message or spread positivity, make someone's day, that's a great chance to. So just use it wisely and don't go down the wrong path and don't get buried in the fame and the glory and all that, because it doesn't last forever and it can actually lead to more negativity, I think. So I would say just use it wisely.